Hi Taurus, welcome to your weekly tarot scope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. These are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. Remember, they're general readings. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look at your key to the week. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. So your key to the week this week, my dear Taurus, is the Star card. Hope and optimism and joy for the future. In all of these different areas of life this week, you are getting a little bit of a glimpse or a little bit of a taster of all of the wonderful things that are to come. Remember, the Star card is the ultimate hope. And whenever this card shows up, it means that your hard times, right, even if it's just for this week, it means that your hard times, the difficulties, the challenges are behind you, right? I love this card because it follows the Tower. So it means that you've already had the shitstorm, right? Now you can kind of relax and just kind of lean into the rest of it. For your actions and options, you've got the Two of Swords. So a lot of you are making, like this week, you will be deliberating on something when it comes to your future. But the beauty about this is, because you've got the Star card here, you're able, it's like you've got the mental space and capacity to make some, not necessarily hard decision, but a choice that it's like you're making a choice that is kind of, you know, that requires a lot of brain power, but you have the ease, the space and the forethought to kind of do so. The other thing with that Two of Swords, because it's your actions and options, it's about what you do. It's like you're considering what to do moving forward, but you want it to be as fair as possible. And you will see what I would call some level of justice this week. So I love this for you. When it comes to the options that are available to you, it will be that. I think there are going to be potentially two or more paths that open up for you in terms of your future, potentially when it comes to your career. So I love this. When it comes to your communications and conversations, you've got the Five of Swords. So look, it's not the easiest of cards, right? And it does suggest that this week communication could be a little bit more fraught. But where everybody else is kind of doing the headless chicken thing, you're kind of like taking your time with it. It's almost like you're saying, you know what? I'm going to make this choice, but I'm not going to make it under duress. I am going to, and you might surprise yourself and another person as to sort of what or who you choose at this time. So I'm really, really intrigued. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, the Five of Swords with the Star card, this is you having talks. It's actually, especially with the Two of Swords, you're having a debate this week about where your studies either can or will take you. You're also really sort of digging your heels in. Look, I don't know who's out here trying to convince a Taurus to change their mind. Like, if you're a cross watcher, just back off, right? Let them do what they're going to do, because listen, I am somebody, I've got a lot of cardinal energy and a lot of fixed energy in my chart, right? It's basically just all of that. But if you're dealing with a Taurus sun or ascendant or moon, just leave it alone, right? They've already made their choice, whether it's a good one or a bad one. It is what it is, right? I'm telling you here and now, if you're cross-watching for your Taurus, back off and let them do it, right? The reason I say this is because you're not going to convince them any other way. What I'm seeing here is, as a student, where you want your studies or your academic career to take you, you've already made up your mind and you're getting resistance. Now, that being said, I'm giving the Taurus room to be the Taurus. I do want you to consider what somebody is saying to you and ask yourself this question, and this will tell you whether you're just being Taurus and being stubborn and hard-headed, or whether there's actually something in it. If the person that is telling you to reconsider or to change your mind has nothing to gain, ask yourself that question. Does this person have anything to gain by telling me to change my mind on this? If the answer is no, you have to be really honest with yourself here, Taurus. That point, you say to yourself, okay, why am I being hard-headed about this? Same for those of you that are employed by somebody else. Your boss could be kind of saying to you, look, we would like to maneuver you towards this. We'd like you to start taking on that kind of responsibility, or this is where we envision being able to up level you. And you might be like, listen, I'm comfortable where I am. I'll stay on my backside here. Consider, obviously if it's a company, it's slightly different, but at the same time, if a boss or a superior or even a colleague pulls you aside and says, look, you know what, this is actually a really good opportunity, ask yourself what they have to gain, because it looks to me like it might not be anything, right? For those of you that are self-employed, business owners, entrepreneurs, etc., all of that good stuff, similar thing, but this is about a new client, right? This is somebody who isn't necessarily, like, they know how you work, but they're not necessarily used to all of your ways. They might be trying to fight you or push you on something, and it's probably because you haven't explained something as clearly as you think you have. So and this week you'll have the breathing space. You don't have to get into it immediately, which I actually think is a good thing. For those of you that are retired and no longer working for any reason, this I actually think is a moment where you can see a family situation going in a certain direction, and you're just like, you know what, I want no part of it. I actually agree with you on that one. For your love and relations, you've got the 5 of Cups. Okay, so look, right, you've got a bit of a hangover here, right? Because last week was a bit of a challenging week for the Taurians. You've got 2 5s here, which represents a vigil. For a lot of you, especially those of you that are out of a partnership, out of a marriage, out of a relationship, etc., this week you might find that you are that much more reflective on why it didn't work, what was the problem or the issue. But what I love about this is you are ready to get out there and start overindulging on the fairer, the opposite, or even the same sex, depending on your situation. You've got the Star card here, so you can see it's like, you know what, that one didn't work out, and it didn't work out because of A, B, and C. But actually, I'm going to start playing the field. It's like you're ready. You're in that space to really start indulging or overindulging, actually, in, making those connections, Henny. So I love it. I think this is great. I'm actually, yes, these are not necessarily the easiest of cards, but those 2 5s, I think you're really reflecting on a relationship that has passed. For those of you that are in it and not, in a breakup or anything like that, the Star card is probably showing you where the codependency is showing up. And I actually think that's a good thing, because when you can see it, you can kind of stomp it out. If this is like, you've got the same friends, you do the same things, you're always together, it can be sometimes too much. It's important to have your own identity in a relationship, your own friends, your own desires, your own hobbies, all the rest of it, right? It's important to remain or to hold on to your individuality within your relationship as well. For those of you that are single and looking, I wouldn't be surprised if you have a reconnection or somebody from your past reaches out to you this week. I actually think it will be a good thing, because you kind of look at this person in this situation and you say, okay, you know what? It obviously took you a lot to come back to me, but it's still going to be a no, right? For your money and materials, you've got the Ace of Wands. You better get this money. Taurus, your finances are going through a very nice boost this week. That Ace of Wands, you've got new ideas coming in, you've got new desires coming in, you've got new ways of making money, and more importantly, the ideas that you're setting into motion now very much are for the longevity of your future and the finances that you're sort of seeking to create for yourself. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, love this card for that, because it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of passion. You've got this with the Star card. A lot of whatever you're doing this week seems to be very good for your nervous system, right? Like, it's like you've had the time where the nervous system was shot to pieces, and now you've got the opposite experience. It's like you're really enjoying whatever you're doing, right? And this Ace of Wands with the 2 of Swords, that's really nice, because it's like not only are your ideas popping and financially viable, but they are being made at a time, like, these aren't knee-jerk reaction sort of decisions that you're making. You're making them when you're calm, when you're relaxed, and they have that much more weight for the future. when it comes to your home and environment. A lot of you might start the process this week, and you know, if we know anything about Taurus, you guys are not quick with anything. With anything. What? I dated a Taurus. The so one day I'm gonna be able to get that freaking filter. There are times when I'm like, oh. Okay, whatever, it's out there now, so it is what it is. You guys know I don't edit my videos. What you see is what you get. The Ace of Wands with the Star card, a lot of you will be starting the process of your next home. Whether this is you're moving out of a rental situation into the next one, whether you're moving out of a rental into a purchase, whether you're you know, you've got a home that you own and you're looking at that nicer or that bigger or the future or the forever home, that process starts this week. And because you're making it in a time where your nervous system is like just really soothed and in a good space, I think this will be that much more powerful for you. I'm very happy for this. I really like this, and interestingly enough, I'm recording this on the day where the moon is in Taurus, so there you go. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. If you want to book a personal session with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. Take care, and I'll see you soon.